come with me into my nether realm of behind my green screen. I thought it was kind of cool back here. Whoa! Even with my lights on, it makes like a cool glow, like a cool green glow on my face. I don't know. Anyways, I had a funny idea. Or I wouldn't say really idea, more of a concept. Or more of a thought. More of a thought. Let's say more of a thought. So, one of my fears, one of my biggest fears has always been, and it's not something, well, I mean, it is pretty commonly known, but it's not something like spiders or bugs or getting shot or stabbed, which, don't get me wrong, would suck if you think about it. But I'd say one of my biggest fears would always have to be getting stuck. Imagine getting stuck in like a very small, tight place. So, like, for example, you're walking in between, like for Star Wars, the walls close in on you and then you're just stuck in there. You're just stuck in there forever and ever and ever and ever. Or until you starve to death. or poop yourself to death. Is that a thing? I think that's a thing. I like to think that's a thing. But the reason why this has always been a fear of mine, and it's not because I'm claustrophobic or anything, I don't know, I think that would be so shitty. I think that would be the shittiest way to die, because you're literally just stuck until you starve to death. And I have almost examples with this, except I wasn't alone, so it wouldn't be as bad as one would think. But one time I was in Missouri with my cousins Brittany and Alana. Now, if you don't know anything about Missouri, it's a pretty okay state. It's in the Midwest. There's not, from what I could think, living in Chicagoland area, there's probably not too much in Missouri. I mean, you have St. Louis and you have KC-Mo, Kansas City, Missouri. And then, but when we went on vacation there, we went to a small town called Hannibal. Yeah, that's the name of it. Hannibal. Like Hannibal Lecter. You know how it is. And Hannibal was really cool. Like, I just loved it. Everything about it was so cool. Like, if you know anything about Mark Twain, then you know about Hannibal, and you know all about everything over down in that area. But in one of the moments there, we went to, like, these caves. We went to these caves, and there was the Mark Twain caves, and then there was also the Cameron Caves, was the name of just the caves. And the caves are like a vast system underground that are just like, it's colder in there. It's a lot colder in the caves than it would ever be outside, and it's just awesome. It's just so fucking cool. And you're allowed to like walk through them, of course, with a tour guide, because they don't want people like me going down there, because I'd destroy the cave on accident. And because, for example, they told me, you're not allowed to take any rocks or stalactites or anything. You gotta leave them in here. You could get fined. And I was like, bitch. And I picked me up a rock and put it in my pocket. I was like, fuck you, this is my rock. This is my rock. Took it back to Chicago, threw it somewhere. Because I do that. That's how I do. But that's besides the point. So, we were inside the Cameron Caves, and there was this one little area where you were allowed to crawl through it. Just a small hole to the other side. And they were like, they encouraged all the kids to crawl through it. And in my eyes, I'm always like a child at heart. So I was like, I'm going to crawl. I'm going to crawl. I'm gonna crawl through this hole. So that's what I thought. That's what my mindset was right away. And I can tell you right now, that was not a good idea. That was probably a really bad idea. So I wouldn't say that I'm fat. I would say maybe I have a little bit of extra weight on me right now. But at the time, I was even thinner, which says something. Like, I had lost a lot of weight due to moving up to the north side and being just a little bit stressed out. And so I had lost a lot of weight, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. So as I crawled through, I kind of got a little stuck. Not too much where I wasn't able to, like, force my way through with, like, scraping up my skin and bleeding a little bit. But I got a little stuck. And I'm going to tell you what right now. There's a few reasons why that is, like, the most uncomfortable thing in the world. Okay? And now here's reason number one. Here's reason number one as to why. Okay, well, number one's I was stuck. Obviously. Number two was there was children behind me, and there were children in front of me, and I have a big ass. Like, my ass don't lie. So I was like, oh no, these children are looking at my ass. And it's not like I was naked or nothing. Like, I had pants on, so they couldn't, like, they were looking at my pants. But my butt was there, and it was awkward and uncomfortable. And another thing is, I usually have pretty bad gas, I'd say. And when I get nervous, sometimes I fart flatulence. It comes out. It goes. And I've learned that, okay, here's the concept of a fart. What is a fart to you? What does a fart mean to you? Is it just or is it the smell, or is it a mixture of both? Because I know what a fart is now. If you spread your cheeks You won't get a noise. It's just going to go like a cold breeze through a nighttime tree. But if you keep your cheeks together and you fart, the cheeks slapping together, that's the noise. Has to be, right? I would think. So anyways, I was uncomfortable with the kids behind me, and I was like, I'm going to fart. But I made my way through the caves, and that was about that. But I can tell you right now, that is so uncomfortable. That is like the most uncomfortable thing ever. And so another instance of this was I went into the City Museum in St. Louis, once again in Missouri now that I think about it, and it's pretty much a living art museum. So the only way to explain this is it's like a giant jungle gym for adults and children alike. And so you're able to climb on the art and explore through, once again, cave systems and just everything like that. And it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm in my cave. I'm in a cave right now. And it's just so cool. It's like the coolest fucking thing on earth. And I loved it. And so there was this one where it was like a small like corridor, probably like from here to here. Definitely smaller than me. And I was like, I'm gonna get through it because all the kids are getting through it. So why wouldn't I be able to get through it, you know? Why not? Why not? Who's to say? So I tried to get into it, and same thing, I got semi-stuck, which was really unfortunate. It's just that little feeling of like, oh no, I'm going to be stuck forever. And if you're thinking about it, this is 2 giant slabs of stone. Natural stone that was carved a little bit. And how are they going to... They have to like take out the whole building or amputate my arm to get me out if I do get stuck. That is the scariest thought. I don't want to get stuck anywhere. I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to cut my arm off. How am I going to play Halo Reach? You know? What if I want to become a professional juggler in the future? They got to be a one-handed juggler. What do I look like? What do I look like? A one-handed juggler? No. That's not me. That's not me. So that's pretty much why I don't know, why I'm scared of being stuck in between places. I don't know, it just seems like the worst way to die. Top 3 ways to die for me. Obviously, drowning. Fuck that. 2, stuck in something. 3, burning. They're all shitty. They're all shitty. If I had to throw a number 4 up there, probably falling to your death because it's an inevitable demise. That seems pretty screwed up too. I don't know. But St. Louis, from Missouri, from what I could tell, is just a bunch of death traps. A bunch of death traps of little things that you could get stuck in. Because all my experiences thus far have been little places that you could get stuck in and die. And I don't know what's up with that, Missouri. You got to get your act together. That's why that's why the slogan is Missouri welcomes you. So it's like misery welcomes you because it's basically misery. I'm kidding. I actually like Missouri. I think it's a pretty cool state. And then another thing, when I was in that Cameron Cave, we had this tour guide, this girl. And she was probably around my age, maybe a little bit older. And I'll have to admit, she was kind of cute, and I was single at the time, and I wasn't thinking anything because I'm geeky. And I've always been too scared to usually ask anybody out, ever. I'm just like that. And then, the lights turned off in the cave. They were trying to show us what complete blackness would look like. And I'm a pretty funny, charismatic person. And I was standing next to her because I was trying to also lead the tour group because I'm also kind of loud and obnoxious at the same time. And when she turned off the lights to show us how dark it was, I shit you not, someone punched me right in the stomach, in my Rob Zombie stomach. And I was like, what the tour guide just punched me in my stomach. The tour guide punched me in my stomach. What in the flickety fluck is that? That is the craziest shit ever. Why did she do that? I still, to this day, don't understand why the tour guide punched me in the stomach. It hurt too. I was like, oh, the lights turned back on. And she was like, and I was like, bitch. But I think she liked me. That's why I was confused. It was like one of those kindergarten things, like you hear like, oh, the boy's hitting you, so he must like her. I don't know, my mind, ow, dying. My mind thinks too far. I'm always like 1,000 steps ahead of everybody else in terms of what I'm thinking. Like, you might be on the logic of 1 + 1 = 2. Well, I'm trying to figure out how 1 + 1 = fish. That was a bad example. That was a really bad example, which is why I'm about to end this video right now. Because that was probably the worst example of my flippity-doo-dah life. And so as I slowly get closer to the camera, I would like to thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed this vlog. Please feel free to let me know what you thought of the vlog down below. And if you would like to see more, let me know. If you enjoyed it, that's good. And until next time, I'm avenged one. I'm avenged one. I'm avenged one.